Hi, my name's Kelly Gilson, and I'm the Executive Director at United Way Oxford. I invite you to join us on our new Let's Talk Local Oxford series. We'll share everything about United Way Oxford, our work, our partners, our investments, and how everything we do is designed to create positive social change right here at home in Oxford County. Not only do we want to share, but we hope to inspire you to join in our efforts and learn ways in which you too can show your local love. So, let's talk local, Oxford.
Woodstock Libro Credit Union is the proud sponsor of Let's Talk Local Oxford.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. And I am so thrilled to welcome you to our episode number 4. And a special thank you to our sponsor, Libro Credit Union, for allowing this to happen. Really quickly, as we reflect back on our last episode, we were joined once again by our Community Impact Coordinator, Cheryl McCackey. And during that podcast, we reflected on the process behind our community conversations and what we learn and how we use that information, and more specifically, how that really helps us identify the needs in our community, the things that matter most to the citizens in our community, and the gaps where we as a United Way can help fill. And so today we are discussing how United Way helps support the programs that we addressed as we talked about those needs. And this is really all about fundraising. And we're joined by United Way Oxford's Manager of Resource Development, Amanda Kreiger, who's going to share her experience and expertise on fundraising in Oxford County, and specifically how we fundraise and why that really matters. So welcome to the show, Amanda.
Thanks, Kelly. It's great to be here.
So I want to start by saying that often if I'm out talking to organizations, individuals, workplaces, I say, United Way is known by most people as a fundraising organization. And then I always say, but really, we're a community impact organization. We just happen to have to fundraise in order to do the work. So it's the work that really matters. However, with you sitting in front of me, I think now we have to talk about why fundraising really matters.
Fundraising does really matter. It allows us to do the work that we want and need to do, but it's the first step.
It is, absolutely. And I think, one of the things that we talk about all the time when we are fundraising is 100% local. And I think that's a great place to start. When we say 100% local, what do we mean, Amanda?
We mean that every dollar that's raised in Oxford County stays in Oxford County, whether that's through individual donations or workplaces or special events. All the work that we do directly impacts residents of Oxford County.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's our reason for being. We're here to create positive social change and make sure that those supports and programs are available when people need them most. And the only way they're available is when we have the ability to fund their sustainability and their ability to grow and learn and evolve and adapt to changing needs in our community. So, when we think about fundraising, we go about that in a variety of different ways. But I think for today's episode, we're going to focus specifically on our relationship with workplaces and local companies and local labor groups and how that all happens in our United Way world.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our resource development team here, considering that last year, 66% of our campaign total was raised through employee giving and corporate support through our workplaces. So it's a big part of what we do throughout the year. And those workplaces range from really small organizations of a few people that come together to really large manufacturing companies that work with people right from when they're hired, they come on board and they learn about United Way all the way through to their retirement and how they can stay involved when they retire.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's really important because, without naming names, we have a number of organizations, companies and labor groups, two in particular, two amazing automotive manufacturers that I can think of here in the county that run wonderful workplace campaigns. Their employees walk the walk, talk the talk, and give. And so I think sometimes people might assume, well, they have so many employees, of course they could run a campaign. But you don't need 500, 1,000, or 5,000 employees to run a campaign, do you?
No, it's all about that partnership too. So it really helps the employees, whatever size, learn more about their community. So there's a partnership between the employer and the employee, the volunteers that step up in those workplaces to help out, and United Way, where we can all work together to create that environment of giving back and awareness. And what we've really worked on the past couple of years as we see the needs increasing is having those conversations about what resources are available. So we'll come in and we'll do a presentation about why it's important to support United Way financially, but also if you are looking for resources and you don't know where to turn, we're there to provide those supports. So when we talk about our workplace campaigns, it really is a partnership between all players and all everybody that's involved with the organization.
It is, because it's, this is about fundraising, and we know the fundraising really matters, but employee giving, these are our neighbors, these are our fellow co-workers, these are our family members, and like everyone, there are times when people need services and times when someone they love or someone that they're very close with might need something. And when you don't know what you don't know. And so by sharing information, it's a great way to educate and help the entire workforce, as well as make that connection back to and how that comes back to United Way and our volunteer decision making and how those make differences in the lives of our fellow citizens.
It also allows our employee and workplace donors to see the impact of their donation. So we worked with 173 different workplaces countywide last year and had over 3,000 employees make a donation either one time or through their payroll. So it's important to us as being accountable to come back to that group and let them know the difference that money has made, because it's a huge part of why people give. They want to feel like they're a part of making that change. And our role in that partnership is to show them the difference that they've made.
And so a moment ago, we just talked about how there's no one size workplace. You don't have to be big, small, or anything in between, that this can work for any workplace, for any company and any employee or employee base and labor group. But that same messaging actually translates well into employee giving. So the beauty of employee giving is you're taking a little bit off your paycheck, and then at the end of the year, you have it's on your T4. So when you go to do your taxes, it's easy peasy. But the same is true in that there's no amount too small, and there's certainly no amount too big. But it does make it easy. And people sometimes, I think, feel that if they're not in a position to give a lot, maybe they shouldn't just give. But it's not true, and it's not part of our messaging either, is it?
No, we fundraise $1 at a time. When we go into a workplace and we talk about giving $1 or $2 per paycheck, exactly what you said, people don't realize that can make a difference. But when you take the workforce, regardless of the size, and you pool all those donations together, that's how we get to $1 million. Is that $1 at a time. And people might sign up originally giving $1 a paycheck, and then it comes to the end of the year and they realize, I didn't miss that $1 a pay. Maybe we'll try $2 a pay or $5 a pay. And it's a great way to start people giving and then learning more, and then we can grow those campaigns and grow our campaign in the community.
I think that really is an important piece, and especially in a time where we know that the economy, inflation, all of the coming out of COVID, everyone has their stresses, not just the stresses that might, relate to programs and services that we fund, but also, people are pinching their pennies a little bit more, and certainly some are concerned. And this is a way that people can make a difference, even just a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm. And outside of the typical employee giving piece, there's lots of other ways for workplaces to get involved too, and have some fun. Like the past couple of years have been hard on everybody, and we've seen workplaces reaching out to us, asking us to bring some of that team building engagement back to their employees. Whether that's through a special event like a barbecue that we can host on a Friday afternoon and come in and bring people together, or where it's staff bingo or trivia. There's lots of ways that workplaces are getting involved outside of payroll giving to bring the team together.
That speaks really nicely to the fact that we're a partner in their world as well, and it matters that we can bring some opportunities, and we have lots of information. We provide 1,001 resources for organizations that are looking to engage and maybe looking for something unique or fun or interesting that can build spirit within their team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we also have companies, if we go back to the fundraising piece, that offer things like matching programs, right? So if they raise a certain amount of money through their campaign, through payroll giving, or through special event giving, the company steps up and matches that for them. So that $200 auction that they did in the lunchroom now becomes $400 with the corporate support. So it really is bringing everybody together, and everybody's got a little bit of skin in the game to make it an impactful experience for everybody.
And that there are a million different ways to make those incentives happen. And so you're right, whether it's a special event or something that a company can match, but we also have companies that will match individual giving or leadership giving, don't we?
Mm-hmm. We've really grown our leadership program with the help of the community over the past 5 years. So if you're at a workplace and they have a matching program, we also have our Leadership Challenge Grant program. So if you donate $100 a month through your payroll, that's a $1,200 donation through annually, and that gets matched by your company, and then it also gets matched by our Leadership Challenge Grant. It's tripling your donation. So out of your pay comes $1,200, but as United Way's organization, we receive $3,600.
So that tripled the impact to your community.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, in lots of ways, more than triple, because if you're, for instance, in that case, if you're contributing $1,200 annually, you're also getting a tax break when you go to do your taxes at the end of the year. So that $1,200 really doesn't cost you $1,200.
Absolutely.
So it's the perfect definition of a win-win-win situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing about our fundraising team is that people really think about United Way as fundraising in the fall. We kick off our campaign officially, publicly in September. And while we do have a lot of workplaces that run through the fall and wrap up before the end of the year, we are a year-round fundraising team. There's lots of ways that we can engage with those workplaces throughout the year. We have our annual Day of Caring, which provides volunteer opportunities for workplaces to get out. We can provide Seeing is Believing tours, either virtually or in person, when we can go meet some of the agencies that we support. We can bring an impact speaker in or virtually into a call and provide some insight into where, again, the programs that are available and the people, the exact lives that have been changed because of that workplace campaign support.
And that's where the magic is, because in the end, we use those dollars to change lives. That is what we do. Mm-hmm. And when you can hear from someone, a fellow citizen who can speak about their experience, what their situation was, and why it is so much better now because of the support of employees across our community, that is powerful.
Yeah, it really is. And it's what makes our jobs so worthwhile and fulfilling is that we get to meet those people regularly whose lives have been changed through our work and through the support of our communities. So we appreciate the opportunity to share those with our workplaces. We really want to be engaged and involved and be a partner with them, and not just seen as a fundraiser. So,
yeah, it is an honor to be able to have those voices, to have those connections with people and to be able to share their voices within our community. And Amanda, you mentioned about, all of some of the different ways that we can support workplaces as they're striving to run a campaign, run awareness, and as well as some fun and engagement activities. But you mentioned the virtual and the in-person. We can do both, right?
Absolutely. There has been some positives come out of the past couple of years and how much that we've had to pivot and change the way we work. And one of those is just being adaptable, and what might work in your workplace for you and your team and your corporate social responsibility is something that we can accommodate. We can do hybrid models. If you want us in there, we can be in there. If you want us in on different shift work, we are there. Anything we can do to make this a great experience for our donors and our workplaces, we're there.
And really, and this is maybe a different definition of inclusive, but when we have so many manufacturers that work in shift work, so when they say we're doing a barbecue at 3 a.m, or we're there for that too, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
It's important that everyone has the opportunity to learn and to engage and to contribute should they wish. And so what else, when we think about engagement, what other opportunities do we provide? So I'm thinking about volunteerism and some of those other connections that we make.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits that if we start a workplace campaign, let's say somewhere, is that we come with a toolbox full of community knowledge. So it starts with education. So whether that's through us or whether it's bringing one of our partners with us or one of our impact speakers with us, it really starts with that base of education and awareness. And then we have different activities that we can do. We can come in for a lunch and learn presentation. We can bring in our Make the Month activity where you sit down and you really have a deep look at what poverty might look like with your team and making those choices that people in our community have to make every month to get to the end of the month. We just have ways that we can bring that knowledge to the team.
Absolutely. And I think that really helps inspire people. So it inspires individuals to give, and it inspires the volunteers within those workplaces that run these campaigns. Because without those champions, those ambassadors for our community and for United Way, we would be hard pressed to be able to have the impact we have, because they are so energetic and passionate about the impact that they can have as an individual.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits to hosting a United Way campaign at your workplace, is that you give your employees that really want to be involved a way to be involved, a way to know exactly what they can do to help make a difference, and the support that we provide with the special event ideas and the training that we offer, and we prepare the volunteers in the workplace to be our ambassador and to speak on our behalf and to kind of lead the team. When we talk about that morale, those workplace volunteers that we have make that happen for us. We can't be there everywhere all of the time. We're a resource team of 3, but we rely so heavily on those volunteers to continue our work through the workplace campaigns.
And if there was ever a time when, as a community, as a society, we need that, it is now. We need that positive energy. We need that sense of coming back together and doing good. And it coincides with the fact that we will also be speaking, certainly through our campaign and as we're launching, about the need in the community. There is a growing need in the community. Many people have been impacted over the last few years, much more difficultly than, right? Like, so it's not fair to all. Some people have been really struggling, and those struggles continue. And so the opportunity to both engage and give workplaces exactly what's needed now, while also providing the dollars and the opportunity to benefit the people who also need something right now. It's a lovely time to bring that all together.
Absolutely. And there are benefits from an employer's point of view to have a United Way campaign started and start that relationship with us. Just to strengthen your reputation in the community for being a community leader, for helping. We know that there's a shortage right now of finding help. If you can stand out as somebody who provides those opportunities to your employees, somebody who cares about the community, the people that live here where you work, it goes a long way with employee retention and happiness.
It does, because we, United Way, as 100% local, this is where people live, work, and play. And we can be that partner to convey that message. And a lot of our efforts with working with the volunteers or perhaps a team, depending on the size of the workplace, in another way, that's also professional development opportunities, isn't it? It strengthens people's core skills.
Mm-hmm. We will see that with our volunteers sometimes when we start working with them, and they're like, oh, I was really worried about doing that presentation, but when they sit and prepare with us, by the end of the campaign, they're completely comfortable. They're like, I can't believe how much I've grown through this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So we, kind of to wrap it up, we wouldn't be able to do what we do in this community without our local companies, their employees, and our labor groups. Together, as you said, I think it was 66% of our campaign, so a significant amount. And really, it's that commitment and the dollars, the belief in the work, and the willingness to put their own personal commitment towards that cause and the cause of United Way. We are very fortunate.
Yeah, we are humbled by the support that we get from our workplaces and the feedback we receive from their appreciation for what they've learned. When we go and we do a presentation, it's always amazing when you stay afterwards and you can chat with the employees, and they want to volunteer. They want to know how to get more involved in the community, or they have questions. We've had people come and say, I have an aging parent and I don't know where to get a wheelchair accessible. And we can direct them to 211 to go and find those resources. So it's just such an important part of our job is being in those workplaces and being present and raising the money, but also just being in the community that we are working so hard to support.
I have a question. If I am at a workplace that doesn't currently host a United Way campaign, how would you recommend I look into that?
Well, the voice from afar. What a great question.
It's good to see you guys.
Hi, Mike. That is a really great question because it is easy peasy. It is as simple as picking up a phone and calling our office or emailing. We have information on our website, obviously, as well. But we love to have that human connection so that we can really understand their needs. And Amanda is far better suited to finish that answer.
And if you're an employee at a workplace, ask your manager about it, because it might be an opportunity for them that they haven't even thought of exploring yet. And it can just start with a quick little presentation and conversation about the work that we do. It can start with sponsorship. We have workplaces that come on and sponsor an initiative or an event that we're working on. So there's lots of different ways to get involved as an employer and as an employee. Just start the conversation.
And if you're an employee who's thinking, well, I would actually like to do a payroll giving, because it's the easiest way to give, to make a difference. If you're thinking of it, I can guarantee you others in your workplace would think of it as well. And so you might really be able to find that common ground and that opportunity to, again, start small, but to start the ball rolling and to move into something that could be incredibly rewarding for everyone.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, Amanda, I want to thank you for sharing your information on fundraising, especially the work from the workplace lens today. It's really important to be able to let people know what those opportunities are and what they look like across our county, big, small, and everything in between. There is something that works for everyone. And our next podcast, our next episode, we're going to have you back and we're going to focus specifically on individual giving, people in the community that might not be associated with a workplace, and what that can look like. And is there anything you want to say before we wrap that part up?
I just want to thank everybody for tuning into our podcast. It's something that we started this year and we're hoping will continue through. But it's just a great way for us to talk about that message and share what we're doing, and for you guys to listen and tune in every episode and learn a little bit more.
I agree. I'm very, very grateful for those that are tuning in and listening in, and very grateful from that voice from afar who made this happen and has really been instrumental in letting us share more information about United Way Oxford and what we do and why that matters here. So if anyone has any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out and get in touch, and you can call the office, or you can email, if it's specific on the podcast, email mike@unitedwayoxford.ca, and he'd be happy to answer your questions. I'd like to thank the Libro Credit Union once again for their generous support to make this happen. I still can't believe that this is happening, but we have a podcast, and so thank you, Libro, for making this happen. And to those that are listening, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time on Let's Talk Local, Oxford. Take care. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Local, Oxford. If you would like to learn more about United Way Oxford, our work, our engagement, our volunteer opportunities, our partners, or to even make a donation, please visit unitedwayoxford.ca or call our office. We love to chat, and we really love visitors too. If, however, you find yourself needing a hand to locate a program or a service, please call 211, our information and referral service. They're there to connect you to local supports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Remember, 211, they are there to help. Until next time, join with us by showing your local love. We all could use a little more of that. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Local Oxford, proudly sponsored by Woodstock Libro Credit Union.